Hey friends, sometimes for whatever reason, let's first move the microphone where it's going to get me a little bit better. But sometimes for whatever reason, uh, I am just stuck clicking on things. I have no idea what I'm saying. I'm literally just trying to buy the silence. So, hello, 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 hello. My sister's in the chat. She's there as Nicole. She said, Nicole Nunya. She says, "Hey, Becca, little man, my nephew, likes your intro music." He said, "What amazing! I love that music." Awesome. Hey, friends, it has been a heck of a week, and tonight I am really excited to sit down and get to work on some of the projects that I have in my sewing room. So, I don't have anything that I'm going to teach you. I'm happy to just chat and sew, and that's what tonight's live stream is going to be. I like to use my Friday night live streams to kind of kick off a weekend of creativity because my job has me working Monday through Friday, and the most amount of time that I get to sit and sew is Saturday and Sunday. So, what better way to kick off the weekend to spend it virtually with a whole bunch of you working on whatever makes you happy? You don't have to quilt, you don't have to sew. It doesn't matter what you do. You can knit, crochet, sew, scrapbook, or just do nothing at all and just be here for the camaraderie, whatever works for you. The whole purpose of tonight is that we're just going to take a couple hours, set it aside for us to enjoy each other's company. We have the live chat going. Feel free to chat with each other in the chat. I do have it blown up a little bit so that I can see it as well. And if there's any questions or comments that you have for me, just tag me in them. The chat sometimes does go by a little fast. It doesn't mean that I'm ignoring you. I just don't always see all the comments. So I do have some moderator friends out there. My sister, Mary, Ian, if he'll pop in probably a little bit later tonight. I know he's wrapping up his time in Texas, so I don't expect him to be on the live stream tonight. Tiffany has been dealing with some family issues as well, so I don't expect her to be there either, but Donna might be there as well. So all that to say, I do have a few folks that are in the chat that can help get your question in front of me if you have one and I missed it. So there you go. Couple of announcements before we get into tonight's project. First, if you did not hear earlier this week, or was it last week? I think it was this week. I can't remember. I had a lovely chat with Brander. Wow. Sorry, Brandy. I had a lovely chat with Brandy from Quilter on Fire several months ago now. It's been a few months. We chatted shortly after QuiltCon, and she's been sitting on that episode, and she has just released it over on her podcast. And I think the video also dropped on her YouTube channel as well. So you can go to her website, quilteronfire.com, and you should get links to her YouTube channel, her podcast episodes, all of those wonderful things. I'd love it if you check out that episode. I will also put the link to all of that stuff in the description box down below. So if you're watching this on the replay, or maybe you just need to come back to find the link, it'll be there for you. Secondly, it was released last week. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Secondly, oh, wow. Oh, Tiffy's here. I was like, wait, I just saw Tiffany's command come up. And she's like, I'm actually here hiding the crazies of paper piecing. Well, girl, we are going to have some crazy paper piecing together in just a minute, and you'll see why in a moment. I did add a new command to the live stream !project that will basically give you the details of what I'm working on. So if you do !project at any point during any of my live streams, we're going to do our best to keep that updated every Friday night so that as I'm working on things, when you're coming in late, you don't have to ask the question and have everybody answer it. You can just type !project and it'll tell you exactly what I'm working on that week. So I will be working behind the scenes to make sure we keep that updated. I think those are all of the announcements that I have, except for maybe what's coming up over the next couple of weeks. So, as most of you know, Ian, the off-kilter crafter Ian, is moving from Texas to this area of Virginia. Really excited for that. He's going to be a neighbor very, very, very soon. He's leaving Texas next week and will be landing in Virginia at the later part of next week, and might even be here for my live stream next week. We'll see how everything pans out. If his stuff is not been delivered and he doesn't have a bed, he's going to crash with us for a couple of nights. So we'll see where his stuff is en route. his stuff might be here. It might already be here waiting for him. That might be a little weird. But his stuff might already be here waiting for him, and he might choose to be at home putting all of his stuff together. So we'll see where he is, but don't be surprised if there's a special guest with us next Friday night. Also, his last live stream out of Texas will be this Sunday, and he's not working on anything, but he is opening a couple of Halloween boxes. I believe it's the Boo box from why am I having a hard time remember Open Gate Quilts, Monique. I'm having a hard time with names lately. It's going to be the Halloween box from Monique, and it's also going to be the Halloween box from Ginger Quilter, Natalie Pratt. He's got both of those. He paid for them. They were delivered. He has not opened them. He has not cheated. He doesn't know what's inside, and so he's going to share that with you live on camera. All right. I'm going to scroll through the chat and just shout out a couple of green names that I see. Katie, the Greenland Quilter's here. Hello. Shelby Mackgeek. We've got a New York beauty who goes by Mike. He is here as well. Sophie Bertel is here. She says, ooh, I listened to the interview, but have a lot of sewing to do this weekend, so I will watch the video too. So my understanding with the video is that she may have edited the audio for the podcast, but the video is completely unedited, and it's the entire conversation. So if you listen to one, you can get the behind the scenes if you go watch the video. We also have Louise here. She says hello to everyone. Angela Christina's here. Hello, hello, hello. And Catherine, Sophie. Hi, Catherine. We're not going to chop your last name. We're just going to say hi, Catherine. I think that's all of the green names that I see in the chat at this point, though if I missed you, I am sorry. Oh, Beth Ann is here. Beth Ann is here. Hello, Beth Ann. She says, hi, Becca and Quilty friends. Hello, hello, hello. Frida Spencer says, where is your Juki? Sitting right there. Sitting right there. Juki is still fully used, but I prefer to sew primarily on my Singer 301. I get this question all the time, so let's just start off with the answer to this question. Becca, why are you sewing on a Singer? Because I love it. Low key, I love it. What is your Singer? It's this. So let me just give you the 30-second spiel right at the top of the video. This is a 1951 Singer 301 that I picked up off Facebook Marketplace for $50. It was not red when I got it. After I got it, I sent it down to Bob, Bill Imhoff, who is in the chat, or will be at some point. His dad restores and paints vintage machines, so I sent this machine down to Bob, who's custom painted it, this beautiful red color, and put all new decals on it. She's a beauty. I intended to buy this as a travel machine, so I didn't have to carry around my 40-pound Juki when I was going to and from different quilting retreats or different quilting classes. This only weighs like 16 pounds, and so this was supposed to be my travel machine. But I have loved the sound of it, the look of it, and just the feeling of sewing on it so much that it has become my primary machine. And the Juki is the workhorse for when I really need to get something done quick, fast, and in a hurry, or go through something that requires a lot of power. So Juki still does get used, but Ruby is the primary sewing machine. Suzanne's asking, can you turn your volume up? You are really quiet tonight. I don't know why that is. I mean, my volume's turned up, but let's see. I don't know if I can do it this way. Let's see. I don't know. I'm looking at my volume levels. Okay. 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 Nope. Okay. I don't know. Hello, hello, hello. No, that's probably worse. That's probably worse. That's probably worse. Yep. Nope. I don't know why it's coming through quiet. Sorry, but I don't have anything that I think I can use to adjust it. Is anybody else having issues with my volume? Da 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 da. Let me see. No, I see it hitting in the green. All right, let me just try this. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, that's weird. Let me try a different one. Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Okay. Testing, testing, testing. Testing. I don't know what to do with this. I'm sorry. If you can turn your volume up on your device, that would be great. I can't adjust it on the fly. I don't know why it's not going louder than it normally is. That'll have to be something that I will have to look at in offline, not during a live. Very soft. Listen, guys, I can't do anything to fix this. Hold on. Okay, how's that? This is about as good as it's going to be able to get. I have the microphone literally right at my mouth. I don't think there's anything else I'm going to be able to do. Is this good? I hope this is better. All right. Thank you, Fallon. Fallon says, for me, the sound is fine and I have my sound only halfway up. Okay. Okay, we're going to let the sound question go because this will easily spiral me. I want to always make sure that I am doing a quality live stream. Like I want people to be able to hear me. I want people to be able to see me. And anytime somebody can't hear or can't see, I want to fix it for them because I'm a fixer. And so I will very quickly go down, oh, I need to troubleshoot. And you're not here to see me troubleshoot the technology. So I've done the best I can. I will take it offline and I will look to see if there are ways to improve the audio volume. Not tonight. So, oh, people are saying, wow, that is much better. Okay, well, it could be this stupid thing. I always buy these stupid things and they always flake out on me, even when I buy the expensive ones. And then when I use something like this, it's better. Thank you, Tiff. Tiffany said it was fine before, but it's good now. All right, let's just get to sewing. Nobody cares about microphone. That's not why you're here. You're here to see me sew. You're here to hear Ruby purr. You're here to chat with each other. So this is me pulling myself out of the tech troubleshooting. What am I going to work on tonight? Tonight I am working on legit kits. So I have signed up for the block of the month for deep dive. Now this is the block of the month that looks like the turtle. So this is what the quilt will look like when it is all said and done. And to be completely honest with you, I'm behind. Completely behind. Like I should be getting month 7 soon, and I only have months 1 through 3 done. So there's that. So I took a look at the packages that I have. Month 7 is en route. I should have it soon, but I still have months 4, 5, and 6 to do. And I pulled out month 4, and y'all, look at this complicated, chaotic mess. Month 4 is a doozy. We will just say that. Month 4 is a doozy. Month 4 is a doozy. But you know what is not a doozy? Month 5 and month 6, which are both just parts of the ocean. So what I have done for tonight is I have pulled out month 5 and month 6 because I figure if I can get those 2 months knocked out, then that will allow me to feel a little bit better about myself. I will be able to have a few more things checked off of my list of things to do, because that's the most important thing, right? Like feeling accomplished would be great. And then for month 4, my plan for this is to just break it down into smaller bite-sized pieces, work on it a little bit along the way. They usually have just a couple of months that are more intricate and complicated than others. This happens to be one of them. So I'm going to take advantage of knocking out the easy ones, and that's what I'm going to work on tonight. So I'm going to start with month 5, which is right here on top, and I'm just going to set that over here so that when people ask me what I'm working on, I can show them the picture, and I'm just going to get to sewing. So Susan says, my COVID brain would so screw that up. All right, I am chopping up my paper and getting ready to go. Yep. Louise says, just sew the ocean and save the turtle for when we're not watching. You are so smart. Oh my goodness, because that's exactly what I'm going to do. My internet has been off most of the day. Hopefully it will stay up now, Lori says. Lori, I hope it stays up for you too. I mean, look how easy this one's going to be. We're going to work on the most complicated block first. So I've already starched all of my fabric for months 5 and 6. I have not put them into my file drawers because I didn't have time to make all of the little file folders for the new colors that I got in these packages. So I'm just pulling from a pile of fabric. And the nice thing about the block of the month programs that Legit Kit seems to keep doing, by the way, I do have an affiliate link for them if you would like to check it out. It is in the project command. The nice thing about this is they give you just enough fabric to do for that month, and there's always leftover. So if you are ever worried that you're going to run out of fabric later, you're going to have a miscut, you can keep your scraps. But for something small like this, I don't need a big file system to work on this month's package because it's just a few cuts of fabric and I can just leave it here. I've pulled the stickers off, starched the fabric, and put the stickers back on. And so as I'm working throughout the night, you're going to see I'm going to always make sure that I'm leaving the sticker on that cut of fabric. So I'm going to kind of talk you through my process as I'm going, just because I've got to fill the space with something, but I'm also going to chat with you too. So if you have questions about Legit Kits or FPP in general, and you would like me to demonstrate something, I will do my best to accommodate that. Just tag me in the chat and ask your question. And if I don't reply to it, my friend Mary or Tiffany or Ian or someone else will text it to me. You'll hear a little ding, it'll pop up, and I'll be able to answer your question. By the way, this quilting tray, if you guys don't know, is from Soviet Quilts. Fallon's husband, Matt, made this custom for me and then now makes them for you too. So I know this have not made an appearance on my channel in a minute, and that's honestly because I use this as my FPP tray. It holds a glue pen, a starch pen. I don't know why I have this here, but it's a fabric marking pen. It doesn't need to be there. Usually my seam ripper sits in the third one. And then on one side I have just a handful of clips and a handful of pins, and both of these little trays are magnetic, so that'll keep the stuff in there, including the clips, because there's a little bit of metal on there. She has those on her website in case you would like to check them out. And I'm sure Fallon, do I have Fallon as a mod here to drop links? Maybe I don't. Mary, because I've kind of reduced my mod footprint a bit. Mary, if you could get the link to Fallon's YouTube and her online shop and drop it in the chat, I would really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so I'm going to work on A5A first. And we're going to start with NR and OK. So when you're looking at Legit Kits, one of the fun things that I try to remind people about is they're really well labeled. So the letters that are in the background are the letters of the fabric color that you're going to pull. And then you're always going to start with fabric number 1 or section number 1 and build out. Your fabric is always going to start off. You don't have to worry about this with Legit Kits because you're always working with solids, but your fabric on your first piece is always going to be the wrong side of the fabric to the wrong side of the paper. And then after that, you're always going to put the right sides of the fabric to the right sides, like right sides together when you're sewing. So JG says that singer is beautiful. I can't wait to hear her run. Me either. Let's get sewing. All right, I'm going to pull NR, and I'm going to pull OK, which is peacock. And I would have thought would have been PK for the label, but whatever. I also need my ruler, my add a quarter ruler. Here we go. So what I like to do when I'm paper piecing, and I've been teaching my sister how to do this, so this is how I've taught her too. I take the edge of my add a quarter plus ruler and I line it up right on the line between the two sections that I'm going to join, and then I crease the paper over. And then I'll take, I haven't taught her to do this yet, but she was asking me, what is that fabric glue pen for? What do you use it for? Well, Nicole, this is what I use it for. I'm going to take just a little bit of fabric glue and pop it onto the back side of the paper underneath section 1, and that's it. And then I'm just going to press the paper onto my fabric, and I will hit this with an iron to kind of help that glue just adhere to the fabric a little bit. It's a water soluble glue. It is made to go on fabric, but it just kind of holds that first piece of paper in place, which is something that I have found is almost like a pro tip for me. It is game changer to have that happen. Then I fold on that crease. I take my add a quarter ruler, and I'm going to come through and cut off this section. And I'll put NR back in my pile. And now what I have is a nice clean edge of fabric that I can use to line up with the edge of the next fabric that I'm going to join it to. And when I'm doing this, I'm going to keep the fabric folded down, and I'm going to look to make sure that the new fabric that I am joining, which is now right sides to right sides, but again, with legit kits, everything's a solid, so you're all okay. But I'm going to keep this folded back. I'm going to make sure underneath that the new bit of fabric is covering all the way around, all the way behind section number 2 or whatever section I'm adding to, plus at least a 1/4 inch beyond all of those lines. And if that is, then I'll take it over to my sewing machine, and this is what we've all been waiting for, to hear this baby purr, and we're going to start stitching. Now when I'm stitching this, I do turn my stitch length down. I am working on a vintage machine, so I don't have like the 1.2 and the 2.0. I have the number of stitches per inch indicated on my machine, and I am stitching at about somewhere between 15 and 20 stitches per inch. Once I've sewn those pieces together, then I'm going to take it over to my pressing surface. I'm going to fold the new piece over, and I will finger crease this very gently with the tip of my finger. You could also use, let's see if I have it over here. I do not. I let my daughter use it. You could also use a number of different notions to do this, but the tip of your finger works just as well, and it's free because you already have it on your hand. And then I'll take it over to my ironing surface, and I'm going to give it a good press. And when I do that, I like to take my Acorn Easy Press Pen. I know that this is only 2 pieces of fabric here, but I do this for every seam in my legit kits because sometimes, and you don't know when that's going to happen all the time, but sometimes those seams can really start to get very, very bulky. So if you take a moment to press it with that Acorn Easy Press Pen and then let it cool underneath a nice hot clapper, or I'm sorry, a nice heavy clapper, your seam's going to be really super flat. All right. The only problem with this setup is you can't see my pressing surface, which is right over there. Though I guess for tonight, I could bring a small pressing mat up here because I have it like right on my feet. And then you could see as I'm pressing which would be fun, wouldn't it? It'd be fun to do that, wouldn't it? Let's do it. There, now you can see what I'm doing. Just like that. Now I've got this great big honking piece of fabric, and so I'm just gonna roughly cut with my rotary cutter around that shape. This becomes trash. And this still has my sticker on it. I'm going to fold it up and put it in my pile of fabric, which I will keep over here and out of the way. All right. Now I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to work on this one. I'm going to start behind number 1. We need some more NR. So I'm going to use this. And it's the same thing that I did before. Just a spot of glue behind section 1 to hold that in place for me. I'll line this up. I had a light box that I loaned to my sister, and I don't think I'm ever getting it back. So I'm going to have to invest in getting a new one. But sometimes that will help you with seeing if your fabric is fully covering the section of paper that you need it to, because you'll have a light source underneath the fabric. Somebody is asking me where I got my clapper. That is from Modern American Vintage. I bought it at QuiltCon, I think last year in, was it in Raleigh? I think that's where I bought mine. So Seam Ripper is from So Yeah. Sewing Tray is from So Be It Quilts. And the clapper is from Modern American Vintage. And the glue is not a lot, you guys. Like, it doesn't take much. And it just literally pulled right off. So just kind of keep that in mind. So I'm going to put this back on because I have not attached my next piece of fabric yet. And I would like that to stay on the paper until I am ready to pull it off. There we go. All right. Sandy says, wow, I didn't realize I could mix Best Press with water. Okay, nice. I would not recommend that because you're actually diluting the starch when you do that. If you have 2 different scents of Best Press that you are trying to work together, like if you have the blue one and now you're starting to run out, what I do is I keep a gallon of the unscented on hand and I will dilute it with the unscented until it runs almost clear, and then I'll change to a new scent. Okay, now I need OK, which is that peacock color again. I folded, I trimmed, and I'm going to line this up right here on an edge. It doesn't matter where you're doing this at. I just try to position my pieces so that I'm not doing it in the middle. Like, I'm always going to try to find an end where I can add on. But Legit Kits does give you instructions in each of their kits that'll tell you where they suggest you cut, how you can cut the fabric off, and there is a lot of forgiveness. So you should be okay. Best New York Beauty says, so Becca, best pressed mixology. Elaine Field says, volume is fine. It's clear. It's great. Don't mess with it. Yep. Holly says, if you don't have a light box, you can just hold it up to a lamp or a light, or you can hold it up to a window during daytime hours. Yeah. Mary, how are we doing on giveaway packages? Do we think a raffle tonight would be fun? I know you're still dealing with the hand issue, so I don't want to make things difficult on you. But if we have some and you're willing, maybe we'll do a couple raffles. I know we had some things that we needed to clear out. All right, the next section is KY, like KY jelly. Yep, I said it. What are you going to do about it? Get your minds out of the gutter. Fallon says, I just love the blue fabric. I know, right? So pretty. We can do 4 more raffles tonight if you'd like, Becca. Yes, let's do them. At your leisure, at your disposal. You time it. You decide when it happens. Go for it. Rip and do it. Mike said, all the sick ones are laughing. Jenny said, you said it, and I thought it too. Dragonflies for Donna says, Kentucky makes jelly? All right, let's do it, Mary. 4 giveaways tonight. At your timing, at your convenience. All right, now I'm going to go to V because that's behind number 4. How about a KY giveaway? The winner will get to have a package of KY jelly sent to them from Amazon. You're welcome. Sherry Hendricks says, tonight I'm working on trellis with my new to me Singer 301A. Daughter is calling it her Becca quilt. Aw, that's awesome. You guys, should I get my sister a 301? I think I should, right? What do you think, Nicole? Should you have a Singer 301 just like this? Like one, I think you should. I think we need to find a 301 for Nicole. Hey, Joe Robinson, thank you so much for joining. Ginny Drax says, oh my, I keep eyeing legit kits, but I don't dare to purchase. Is it the price point that's setting you back? Or is it the, oh, my needle. No, my needle is fine. It is not unthreaded. Thought it was for a minute there. Is it the price point or is it the complexity? What's keeping you from pulling that trigger? They are expensive. I'm not going to pretend that they're not. They are expensive. I do think the value is there, though. You can buy the patterns. The patterns are still a little pricey. I think they're like $60, $70, something like that. But they print everything for you. You get a huge packet of paper in the mail. And so all you got to do is just pull fabrics. I've seen people put these together, pulling from their stash, and they've been beautiful. What did I do? Ah, here it is. Barbie. Now I'm just going to sew while I see all of the raffle entries just going crazy. Good luck! Oh, Becky Stroop says, She's working on the keychain holders. Awesome. Now we need more KY jelly. KY jelly. You might be asking, why am I sometimes using my leader and sometimes not? The leaders I have a hard time using if I need to start stitching in the middle of the piece of paper. So I have kind of just embraced, for the most part, when it comes to the world of FPP, that I'm going to waste thread because I'm going to have to pull off a nice long tail after I'm done stitching most of the time. When you see me putting a leader into the machine, it's actually just because my memory has kind of taken over. Muscle memory, that's what I'm talking about, yeah. Okay. And now I have both sections of A5 put together. So I'm going to clean these up, and the way I clean them up is to use just a little ruler. This is a 2.5 inch by 6.5 inch. Why are all the numbers upside down? Oh, because it's right-handed and left-handed. Okay, I was looking at the black numbers, wondering why they were upside down. It's because the uncolored numbers were right side up. Anyway, I'm using just a 2.5 inch by 6.5 inch ruler. And so if you don't know anything about FPP, let me just point this out to you. On the back side of this, you have this gray area around all four sides of my section. That is my seam allowance. And so what's going to happen is I need to trim up right along this edge, the outer part of that gray shaded area. And then the inner part, there's a black line. That inner part is the line that I'm going to sew on when I join it to the next section. Now, I've seen some people do YouTube videos and tutorials where they join them before the blocks are even cleaned up. I don't do that because part of the fun thing for me is seeing this come together nice and tidy. Right now, it kind of looks a little janky, but once I clean up the edges, I get to see a nice clean block. And it makes it easier, in my opinion, for me to line up my points if I don't have really big, long, jagged pieces hanging off. So this is just what I prefer to do, but there's no right way, there's no wrong way. You do what works for you. Also, if you haven't seen it this week, I did drop a new video. It's a quilt tutorial for a ginormous quilt that measures 72 inches by 96 inches. The pattern is available for you on my Etsy shop for $10. You can grab it now. Or if you are a member of my subscription program on my website, I call it VIP, my VIP exclusive access subscription program, you can download the pattern now in the VIP area, the VIP download area, for free. That is separate and apart than the YouTube membership. They are not the same thing. You have to be a member on my website to be able to download the patterns. So that is over on the website now. There is a video tutorial too out there that I would love for you to check it out. So don't forget, if you're looking for something to watch this weekend, I got another video out there for you that I would love for you to watch. Walk you through making that whole big quilt one step at a time. And by the way, for that quilt, all you need is a ridiculous amount of yardage. I'll be honest, you need like 5.5 yards of background fabric, one layer cake, and then a yard of accent fabric for your spools. So a yard of brown, 5.5 for your white, which is what I used, and a layer cake, and you'll be good to go. Or as the song says, hot to go. HOTTOGO. Oh, does anybody else get that stuck in their head? Thanks, Ian. All right, so there we go. Now we're going to join these two sections together. And how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to flip this over. And most of the time, some of the times, these are pretty, it's pretty obvious how they're going to go together. I always find that the numbers always go up and down. Like I would never put it like that where the numbers are upside down. So there's only two pieces. This is on the top, this is on the bottom because I can see where the corners are. But if you're ever not sure how it's going to go together, they do give you, for every block that you have to join together with multiple sections, they'll give you a piece of paper that'll show you how the block goes together, and they'll take a really dark bold line to show you where you should be sewing the two sections together. They'll put a number on it, and then over here they list out instructions for how they go together too. So really well thought out, really well done. So now I'm going to put these together, and this is how I'm going to do it. When I'm looking at this, I have a point right here that I would really like to preserve if I can. I'm not going to stress about it if it doesn't come out, but we're going to try to set ourselves up for success. So the way I'm going to do that is work from the back side of one of these, and I'm going to start pinning in the middle. So I'm going to find this area on the back side of the block. I'm going to put a pin through the paper, and I'm going to flip it over to this side, and I'm going to make sure, let me go to the single camera view and just show you the overhead so that you can see this a little bit better what I'm doing. All right, so when I put this pin through, I just want to make sure it is right through the exact spot where I want the fabric to line up. And then on the opposite section, I'm going to put the pin through the fabric, and I'm going to try to aim to get it on the line on this backside, that line that we're going to sew on, right on the intersection of where those fabrics are coming together. So I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's going right into the same fabric on this side as it's coming out of on this side. So we're going to put those together. We're going to just leave that in there for a minute, and then I'm going to take two more pins. I'm going to match up the corners. So over here, I kind of have this little cutout area. I'm going to take a pin and put it through the exact corner of that fabric, that paper, and I'm going to look to make sure that it is going through the exact corner down below, and if it's not, I'm just going to pull it out and keep going until I can find the right corner. This is where having a light box would be somewhat helpful. There we go. I'm going to pin those corners together. I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to come over here and do the last corner up here. Now you'll notice these pins are coming in and they're just going straight through. They're not actually pinning the way you would expect to pin fabric. So I'm just going to let that hang down. I want to make sure that my pins stay nice and straight. And I'm going to clip right here. I'm going to clip on either side of those pins, making sure that before I put the clip on it, that the pin is going straight up and down. And then I'm going to take this over to my sewing machine. We'll go back to that 3-camera setup. And we're just going to stitch right through. Tiffany, we need to do another live stream together soon. We haven't done one in a while. I don't know if you're still here listening. If not, I'll just call you tomorrow. We need to have some sew time together. Also, Jason, if you are still here, I might be having a conversation with the wall. I don't even know. Jason's been sleeping. He's been hogging the quilt that's on our bed that you made. I'm just saying. Not fair. Yeah, raffle will be USA only. However, if we do pull a winner that is not USA, I will send out a handwritten postcard that I make for you. Um, if you are overseas, I'll send you a quilted postcard, but if you are in the USA, we'll send you a package. If you are overseas and you still want the package, which is probably just some D-stash items, if you are willing to pay postage, then we'll work all those details out through email. Sorry, but shipping overseas gets really expensive. And sometimes the price to ship it is more than what's in the package. And that feels horrible. All right, and that looks pretty doggone good. Actually, that looks really good. All right, when I join my pieces together, most of the time I will press my seams open, but sometimes I'll have a situation like I have here where there's a lot of bulk right in this area and there's not a lot on the other side of the block because it's just one or two pieces of fabric. And in that case, I will totally let the seam just go over to the other side because it's going to create less bulk by going up than pressing open. If I press open, then these 5 pieces of fabric that are all coming to a point right here would turn into a seam bulk of 10 pieces of fabric because I would fold it all back over on itself. So it's actually easier just to keep it going this way. I think that's going to give me the flattest result. So I'm going to bring this over to my pressing mat. I'm going to treat it with some Acorn Easy Press Pen. Put some heat on that bad boy. Thank you, Carissa. She says the blues are pretty. Anna says, I get Pink Pony Club stuck in my head far more than Hot to Go. I honestly will admittedly say I don't think I know Pink Pony Club, but I am sure by the end of the weekend I will. My favorite song lately has been Taylor Swift's, what is it? You Need to Calm Down. You need to calm down. You're being too loud. I may have been playing that very loudly in the car when the family and I were going somewhere, and my daughter was not pleased. She was like, could you please stop playing Taylor Swift? No, I will not. You're welcome. What? Zaza, I don't think you're right. She said it's cheaper to ship to Australia than to the US. Not from the US, though. You must be talking about from somewhere else. Mary is asking, Becca, is it starting to get colder in Virginia? I am assuming so, if Jason is stealing the quilt from you. It is. It was 70 today, I think. Something like that. All right, I need okay. Need to calm down. You're being too loud. Uh-oh. Yeah, we'll go like this. All right. Oh, from the UK, I see. Mary said she's craving crabs tonight. Same. Same, same, same. Don't forget that tomorrow I will have a special live stream with a couple of quilty friends. We're going to work on some jelly roll projects to celebrate National Jelly Roll Day. It will be at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you would like to join us, it'll be a lot of fun. That looks good to me. That's where I'm going to put it. Linda Naylor, come on down. Oh, Jean said it was 90 there today. Has Ian left Texas yet? No, he will leave next week. His final live stream from Texas will be on Sunday. Linda Denton said, darn! Wrong, Linda. Well, we still have 3 more, so maybe you'll get the next one. Uh-oh. Oh, Jenny says, oh, darn, that's football watching time. Well, that's okay. There's always the replay. Linda responded. Awesome. Thank you, Mary, for staying on top of those giveaway raffles. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. I will invite you to my house for Thanksgiving. Spoiler alert, she's already invited. Spoiler alert, she's already coming. Another spoiler alert, she might be here for the holidays. Don't tell anyone. Are you glue basting your fabric to your paper? What a great idea. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Because I'm tired of the first piece of fabric just flopping all over the place. Yes, I am. RI, which is Rhode Island in some areas, but in the world of this legit kit, it means Allegria. Need to calm down. You're being too loud. See, I told you it was stuck in my head, and by the end of this night, it's going to be stuck in yours too. Tasha says, I'm totally stealing that next time I attempt FPP. It is a game changer for keeping that first piece nice and flat. And it looks like Carissa just said that too. So I'm glad to see great minds think alike there, Carissa. I can keep all the other sections flat, but sometime if I don't do that with that first piece, I can sometimes get a little bit of a wave or something in there. Second giveaway starting. All right. Do I have RI on other of these? I think this might be the last time I'm using RI. It is. Okay, good. I don't feel bad for how much of this that I just used. So I'm going to keep the sticker on it because I might want to keep this piece and I want to know what it is. So I just moved that sticker out of the way so that I can trim this a little bit. I'm going to try to keep all of that excess all attached to itself and put this in my scrap pile. Now I'm going to get some KY jelly. And we're going to stitch-a-dee-doo-dah, stitch-a-dee-a. Oh, what color was this? That was OK Corral. OK Corral! Or Peacock. So Terry said, what kind of jelly? KY jelly. I really don't know what KY jelly is used for. I think it's something inappropriate. Isn't it like Vaseline or something? I might be saying something really inappropriate. Joyce is asking, do you need to use a certain needle for FPP? No, I use the same needle that I use for everything else. I always go with an 8012 Microtex. Once in a while, I might step up to a 9014. And the reason why I use the Microtex is because that's a sharp needle. The tip of the needle is super, super sharp. You know, So Yeah did it's been a few years back when they started their the So Yeah show, which I don't think they do anymore, but it was like the very first episode of the So Yeah show. Oh, oops. Mary just told me what KY jelly is for. Maybe we should stop saying that. Anyway, moving on. So that very first episode of the So Yeah show, Tiankum had a tidbit where he talked about needles. He did a marvelous job explaining the differences between the different types. Go watch that. I'll link to it in the description box down below. Mary, if you could do me a favor, can you just jot down the things that I keep saying I'll link to? I think I said I'll link to the live stream. I'll link to the clapper, like all the notions that I'm using. I'll link to legit kits, but now I've said I'll link to the So Yeah video where Tinkum talked about needles. That would just help me remember to give people those links. Thank you. Just text it to me later. I had a sleepy in my eye I had to get out. I have been playing with the bread maker this week. Every weekend I make bread. I make multiple loaves of bread every weekend. And then during the week, usually have to make another loaf or two of white bread. We have really been into making a lot of our own bread here at home. This is V, so I need that. That's cornflower blue, which reminds me of like the blue that you see on a man's dress shirt. In fact, I used to have a guy that I worked with years ago when I had like my very first office job. He always wore this color blue shirt every single day. Button down blue shirt that was that color blue. Anyway, I've been making lots of bread this week, and I had to go into the DC office a couple days this week. And so one of the girls that I work with, I told her I would bring her some pumpkin bread. So when I went in on Wednesday, I took a loaf of pumpkin bread and then I just left the rest of it there in a sealed up container for anybody that wanted it the rest of the week. Well, some of the folks that I normally work with who are out of that office weren't there when I was there on Wednesday. And so I messaged them today because they were back into that office today. I messaged them and I was like, hey, they're on the community table. There's some pumpkin bread. If you want to have some, I made that. I'm the one that made it. Like, help yourself. Enjoy, right? And then I got a couple of messages from a couple of the people who are like, oh my goodness, this was so good. And one of the ladies, she asked me to see, like, she was like, are you going to bring more of this? I was like, yeah, I have to go into DC Friday of next week. So I was like, yeah, I'll be there Friday of next week. I'll bring another loaf. And she's like, I loved it, but I wonder if you put apples in it, if it would be good. I was like, well, I could try. So I'm going to try this weekend to tweak the recipe to work in maybe some dried apples. I'm worried that if I put fresh apples into that mixture, that it would make the bread a little too moist, though I'm certainly willing to try that too. And then I was thinking like, okay, well, what type of apple? Should I do, like, if I just do a regular, like, Red Delicious or something, that's not going to be great. But what if I did like a nice tart apple? What would that do? Maybe something to kind of like offset the sweetness a little bit. Let me know. What do you guys think? Like, we've got to have some experienced bakers out there. They're like, oh, I've done that before and this is what you should do. So put it in the chat. What jelly roll will you be working with this weekend? So if you go back and watch the video where I went to the quilt show and I showed you my haul from what I got, it had a Donna Jordan fabric or a Donna Jordan pattern, a Jordan fabric pattern in it, and a couple of jelly rolls. I'm going to be working on that. Ginny says, how about applesauce? Well, I think they're actually looking for a nice chunk, like something like a crunch. Although, for Granny Smith, be careful with the moisture. Honey Crisp, applesauce will add moisture. I added dried cranberries to my pumpkin. Oh, I like that idea. Cook the apples to reduce the fluid in the finished bread. Oh, that's a good idea. Just like cook them down like you would if you were making cinnamon apples on the stovetop. Oh, trust me, I don't need the bread to be more moist. It is plenty moist. But thank you for the tips on the applesauce. I hear you. We just want to add a bit of a crunch factor. Is that a quick bread or like slicing? It's a quick bread. It's a quick bread. Which on my Bojangled bread maker, because I do all my breads in my bread maker, I have to use the cake mix setting for the bread to be made the right way. I would like I would like to get a high-end bread maker because I love making bread. It's a thing. But the dough isn't just always bread. I can make that dough for all sorts of other things, and I can make yogurt and other things in it too. I want a nicer one. I do want a nicer one. I may have been hinting around about it for Christmas, just saying. Lessen the other moistures in the recipe if adding fresh apples. Chocolate chips. People are saying chocolate chips. Shelly, that's who I was hoping would jump in because Shelly knows her stuff about bread. She says, I'm in Washington. Don't cook with Red Delicious. They are for the Japanese market. Cook with Granny Smith or Macintosh. Eat Gala and Honeycrisp. Okay. Thank you. Oh, Casey said if you use dried apples, you may need to rehydrate the apples first. I would research it first. For a crunch, I use nuts in my pumpkin bread. I would do that too. The only problem with the crunch is if I'm taking it into an office environment, you have to be careful because of people with allergies. So I'm hesitant to put nuts into that mixture. I guess if I labeled it, I could, but wait. Deborah Adams is saying something about they don't get mushy, but I don't know what the first comment was. I have to scroll up. Let me see if I can find Deborah Adams. Deborah Adams. Deborah Adams. Deborah Adams. Deborah Adams. I don't know. I can't find it. Oh, Inquisitive says I use Honeycrisp apples in my carrot cake pumpkin bread and my zucchini bread. Okay, so Honeycrisp. I don't know what she said. I must have missed it. Yogurt in a bread machine? Becky's asking. Yup. I can make yogurt in my bread machine. What? I've never tried it. I don't know if it'd be any good. But it says I can. Yes, if you love to make your own pizza, your bread machine, it can be used to make your pizza dough. Yes, it can. That is one of the other things that it can do. Okay, there's none of... Oh, yeah, but that's a little piece. That'll be fine. Okay, cool. I have plenty of room. If you're looking for other fruits, try pears. Oh. Oh, she said Granny Smith don't get mushy. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you guys are here to help me with that. I would have missed it. I also want to try zucchini bread this weekend. I've not made zucchini bread, and I got to tell you, I loved a zucchini bread when I was younger. I did make a banana walnut bread. Oh, it was so good, you guys. I think Jason and I liked that more than the pumpkin bread, but my daughter likes the pumpkin bread the most. So we usually keep the pumpkin bread, which, let's just be honest, it's basically like cake. We keep a loaf of that here around this time of the year. But the banana nut bread, I love the way it smells. I love the way it tastes. I'm here for the banana nut bread. Angela says, banana nut bread does not last long in our house. Yeah, same. The white bread that we make, it's a honey bread. If anybody wants the recipe, I will type it out. Mary, help me remember. I will type it out in the description box down below. So if you want to get that recipe, it'll be there for you. It's a bread machine recipe, but I'm sure you could just use the same ingredients, make your own dough, work the dough however you normally would, and then bake it. But I don't know what you need to bake it at, so don't ask me. I'm giving you a bread machine recipe, okay? But it'll be in the description box down below. And my family loves that bread. I need V. This is all KY. No. Some of that is not KY. Some of that is corn flour. Yep. Okay, well, we'll deal with it later. Okay, V. Where's my V? Corn flour, right here. Okay. Uh-oh. That looks pretty doggone similar. It's not. It's not the same, but it looked really close for a minute there. Oh, you guys are having a problem with the banana bread? I made 2 loaves of banana bread. There's only 1 piece left. All right, now I need to go to number 3. OK Canal. Don't need a terribly big piece, but I do need it to go along this elongated edge. So we're just gonna finagle this around. That looks like it should work right there. Arlie, congratulations on winning the second drawing tonight. Make sure to let us know in the chat that you see that you've won, and then email Mary at mary@sobecca.com. Mary, how are your hands doing? Oh no. Phyllis says, I have a very dear friend who passed away last year. She was a redhead. Her name was Ruby Sue. That is why I have called your singer since the first time I saw her. Well, her name is Ruby. You can call her Ruby Sue. That is fine. Oh, Ruby. Don't take your love to town. There's a gnat flying around. Did I get him? No. Dang it. Mary, I see your text messages. That's crazy. Crazy lady. Oh no, Norma says, I'm so hungry, but I have such a bad toothache. I can't eat and I can't get into the dentist for 2 weeks. Oh, goodness. Why are gnats always attracted to our quilt things? They need to get their own hobby, Trina Taco said. Well, I do think it's the light. I think that might be it. So I can tell you guys that I am going, if the travel's already been booked. I will be in Vegas in December for a work conference. So if you are in the greater Vegas area, I will usually, when I have to go to Vegas for a work conference, I extend my stay one night. So I pay for a night at the hotel on my own so that I can see friends and do things. And I will be getting in on Sunday. The conference starts Monday, so I have to be there Sunday. And then I'm going to leave on Saturday. I already have some plans on Friday, but I'm thinking maybe one evening during the week after the conference is over, maybe heading over and doing some quilt shop hopping. Tiffany can make the drive to visit you. Yes, she will be coming in. She's already got it on her calendar. We weren't sure if I was going to go to her this time or if she was going to come up to me, but I think the plan is she's just coming up to me again. And then I think we're going to make a little drive over to Anaheim on Friday with another friend. Yes, I saw New Kids are going to do a residency in Vegas next year. Yep, I saw that. I probably won't be going. Can't wait to see you either, Lori. It's going to be great. I'm going to get to check off California off my bucket list. We're going to go to Anaheim. Yes, so Yaz in Vegas, and I will probably be stopping in at some point during the week. Okay, bye, Nicole. She said, little man is wanting to pack it in tonight, so we're going to take off. What's the dates? December 2nd to the 6th is the conference. I'm getting in that Sunday and leaving on that Saturday. So I think it's like the 1st through the 7th. But my flight out on Saturday is early. Like, I think I have to be at the airport like 10 or 11 a.m. So I won't be doing anything on the Saturday. And I'll keep you apprised of what's going to happen. It's difficult though, because I don't think the quilt shops are open on Sunday. So I get in on Sunday, but I can't, like, I won't be doing any quilt shop hopping on Sunday. I'll probably just go check in at the hotel, maybe go do a little exploring out and about. And then during the week, I have to prioritize the conference, of course, because that's why I'm there. Those are all day events. It's going to be a full work day. And then after the work day is over, I'll have the evenings free. And that's just going to have to be, let me see how I feel after the craziness of the conference. Plus, there will also be work folks there with me too. And so there will probably be obligations that I'll have to prioritize in the evening with the folks that I'm traveling with for work. So, but I'll keep you posted on what my evening schedules look like if I'm able to meet up with anyone. If you want to get coffee or grab a bite to eat or something. Linda says, I have a tan Singer 301 and would love to get it painted, but no place local to get it done that I know of. I mailed mine and he did a wonderful job. I need V. This is the last block for month number, whatever we're on, 5, month number 5. What's in Anaheim? Lori, what's in Anaheim? I don't know. Why are we going to Anaheim? I can't remember. Put it in the chat. It's some fabric, something or another. And also, I've never been to California, and I would like to go to California. So we're going to make a drive over to Anaheim on Friday. Or no, Friday? Saturday? I think Friday is the day I'm taking off work because I think the conference ends on Thursday. But I have to double check that because now I don't know. Now I'm like, oh, wait, maybe the conference is happening on Friday too. I have to look at the agenda. Because maybe I need to come back on Sunday then because I need a day with Tiffany to go quilt shop hopping and stuff. Yeah, I'll have to look. Okay, that looks good. Disney is in Anaheim. Yes, it is, and I will not be going to Disneyland. But I will be going to Disney World next year. No Teslas, Bill said. To get tickets to The Price is Right. I know a cute mouse that lives in Anaheim. Yeah, so if you guys don't know the story behind the Tesla, the reason why Bill's yelling no Teslas in the chat is because the last conference that I went to in Vegas, I decided, and I actually do this, it's kind of become a thing for me when I go. I pay out of pocket for a rental car so that I can get out and do things after hours instead of just sitting at the hotel and doing nothing because I'm not really big into the strip thing and I'm not a big drinker. I'm just not into, like, that's not my scene. In fact, I'm not even staying on the strip. Anyway, I like to get a rental car so I can get out and do things. And so I got to get a Tesla the last time I was in there and in the parking garage, leaving the conference for the day to go back to my hotel room that was not on the strip. A big truck broadsided me in the parking garage in a Tesla. I was already in the intersection and the front end of his truck smashed in to the middle of the driver's side of my car. So I have been banned, I should say. I've been banned from driving Teslas by my friends. Okay. I need Kentucky. We're going to call that Kentucky, not the other thing that I've been calling it, since now I know what that's for. Becca, Deborah here from Missouri. Hello, Deborah. Happy Missouri Star birthday bash. Sorry, I'm wrong on those dates, Denise says. I didn't see what the dates were, so it's a shame you and Tiffany won't have the mobility scooter to ride around in the hotel, Becca. I'm almost done with month 5. What? A. 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 I really need to get out more. That one looks good. We're going to do that up there. California girls are unforgettable. Oh, wow. This is the earworms tonight. Just hopping all over the charts, aren't I? Welcome to So Becca Live, where quilting and earworms combine. Hello, Jeannie K. Oh, Linda says, I am from Missouri and I went to Birthday Bash yesterday and it was fun. Awesome. I'm glad. Also, I emailed the winner of the jelly rolls. So if you entered that jelly roll giveaway that I had sponsored from Missouri Star, you might want to check your email because the winner got the email. And I can't remember who it was. Mary, I think I sent you an email with who it was. Can you just type the first and last name of the person in the chat? Because people are going to ask if it was them. And then they're going to wonder if it was them and the email went to spam. So if you could maybe text it to me and I can say the name, that would work. Doreen says, Ruby sounds great. Thank you. All right, SW goes down here. Trina Taco says, wasn't me. Sorry, Trina, maybe the next go round. SW. It was Heather Doolin. Dublin or Dublin? I can't remember. I think she was here earlier, actually. So she's still here. She was the winner. Make sure to check your email, Heather. Mary, thank you. I need to make you 15 loaves of pumpkin bread when you come. There'll be a fresh loaf for you every day of the week. I can't wait to see you. Sandra Lee Elkins. Congratulations. Trina Taco said there's a song in that. Yep. RN Fruta says, I will be in Vegas that same week for the NFR. What is NFR? Would love to meet you in person. Send me an email. We can work it out. We can work it out. California girls, it's all Guys, don't forget, if you've won any of these lovely raffles tonight, send your physical mailing address to Mary at sobecca.com. She's the one that has all the packages, and she'll be putting them in the mail to you this weekend, okay? And if you were international and you opt for the quilted postcard instead of paying for the shipping for the package, she'll get your your physical mailing address over to me. Oh, National Finals Rodeo. The finals for what? Oh, rodeo. Sorry, boys and girls. Thank you, Mary. California girls. Sun's so hot will melt your popsicle. Ew, whoa, whoa. I don't know that one. Oh, is that part of California Girls, do you think? I don't know. I only have the chorus stuck in my head. You know, that's the interesting thing, too. When you get a song stuck in your head, you don't get the whole song. You get like 3 lines of a song, right? You're like, non-field repairable for Coca-Cola. NFR also means non-field repairable for Coca-Cola. RE. Man, this was a whole lot of SW. And there wasn't a lot of SW on my pieces. Did I use the wrong pile of fabric? No? Well, doesn't matter. It's all the same stuff anyway, so. That's interesting. RE. Re. Oh, it's the rest of the lyrics of the song. I was like, I bet it's probably to that song. It's been so long since I've heard it. That makes sense. Thank you, Karina. As soon as I read it out loud, and I was like, what song is that? I don't know that song. I was like, watch. That song, that's going to be lyrics to the song that I'm sitting here going, California girls are so unforgettable. Bikini bottoms, blah, 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 blah. That's, I don't even know the words. I just know the tune. Katie, yes. Yes, Mary will be coming here for the holidays. She doesn't know exactly when she's coming in or how long she's staying, but I am trying to convince her to stay for through the new year. I'm trying to convince her to be here for like 2 months, just so you know. Daisy Duke's bikini on top is it? Thank you, Trina. I appreciate you. Bikini bobbins. Oh, we now somebody's asking for Def Leppard. So are we going to start singing "Pour Some Sugar on Me"? Is that the next song? Great. Now that's stuck in my head. Thank you. Pour some sugar on me. No, that was them, right? Yeah, Def Leppard. Jenny Drax says, I like the bikini bobbin version. I bet you would be singing and talking to yourself even if you were not. Yes, I would be. Although a lot of times I have the music going. So I love to get the tunes going and just sing along while I'm working. And if I'm on a Zoom or a FaceTime call with somebody, I will sit here and sing to myself too. I just like music. Katie says, I'm going to be all alone for the holidays this year along with your wedding anniversary. Oh no, Katie. Aw. Well, it'll make your time with Nikolai that much sweeter when he comes home. There's your silver lining. There's always one. Sometimes you just got to shovel a pile of manure to find it. All right, I got 4. Month 5 is done, y'all. Done, son. Month 4. So I am not putting my blocks to like when I do the blocks, I'm sewing them together, and then I'm keeping this bin with all of my materials, all of the things that I have to do or have finished for the legit kit. So these are all the blocks that I've done so far, and I'll just kind of leaf through them so you can see. So I'm keeping them all separate, and then once I'm done with all the blocks, I will sit down and piece them together as a final quilt. But I'm just going to leave them like this so I can stack them in my bin. So these are the 4 that we did tonight. I love the sound and the feel of the blocks when they have this paper behind them. It's a bit of ASMR going on. Listen. Isn't that great? So we've got several of them completed. This is a 12-month program, so I think month 7 is being shipped. So we have 5 more months of items to ship. La, 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 la. Hi. Can you choose what parts of the FPP of the legit kit? Can you choose what parts of the FPP of the legit kit? Like, do all the parts that have the large pieces and then save the small stuff for list? Yes, absolutely. In fact, if you go check out Cranky Kangaroo on YouTube, I think her real name is Jamie. She has a system where she breaks it down similar to that. So she takes, I don't like her system for me because it feels a little too messy and I would worry about the paper ripping and stuff, but it works and it's totally doable. So she makes a paper binder basically, and you got to look at her system to see how she does it. But she makes essentially a paper file binder type of thing, and she goes through every section and then she rough cuts out all of her fabric to be approximately the size and shape that she needs, and she files it in her little paper binder thing, and then she just goes through an assembly line does it. Some people go through and do all the big pieces first, then go and do little pieces. Whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. Trina says, I can't wait to see it finished. Shelly says, I like the sound of bolts of fabric being flipped for cutting. Oh, me too. Me too. Becca, are you going to take Ian to Ashland, Virginia for the Halloween party? It runs for the whole month of October. I did not know that there was one, but we do have tickets to go to the Harry Potter Forbidden Forest. So my daughter's birthday is October 26th, and to celebrate her birthday, we have bought tickets for Jason, Zoe, and I, and we asked Ian if he wanted to go with us, and he said yes because he loves Harry Potter and he loves Halloween. So he's going as well. We're going to go out to Leesburg for the Harry Potter Forbidden Forest on October 30th. Yep. RN Frutia says, when I am in Vegas, I always shop So Yeah, Christmas Goose, and Quiltique. Yep, I've done the same 3. Candace says, my college daughter loves playing old Miley Cyrus and Disney show songs on road trips. It's always fun, LOL. Well, you guys, you know what we're going to do? We're going to jump over and look to see what you've been working on in the Facebook group, and then I think I'm going to call it a night after we get to see what all of you have been working on, because I will be live again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So, yeah. Let's pull up the Facebook group. Let's go to there it is. There's the right one. There it is. Except this is showing my entire desktop, and I don't want that. So let me fix this. We want to show Safari. There we go. And we want to make that a bit bigger. I don't know why it's still showing the background. Weird. Okay, whatever, but you can at least see. So let's scroll down and see what you guys have been working on. It's throwing me off. Okay. Cheryl Ann Foley says this is what she's been working on. Roberta Enoch says that sewing machines, carrying case and or dust covers for daughter and husband's machines. Just completed them today. Not able to catch the 920 live stream due to alumni weekend for high school, 49 years for the mister. Well, congratulations. Hope you had a wonderful celebration weekend. Frank McNett said, don't know what to call it yet. Let's refresh and see what else is out there, since most of you are probably starting to put your pictures in now. All right, Vicki Hines says, I'm making 21 Halloween totes. Tonight is assembly line. Tonight is boxing the corners night. Wow. Katie with an E says, trying to fine tune the stitches on this beauty, then on to the Tula. Somebody got a featherweight. Beautiful. Linda Robinson says, working on more of the psychedelic blocks and string blocks. Shelley Ferguson made this quilt top this week. Diane made a baby-sized Meadowland pattern using the Rollicking Robots fabric from Northcott. I like how there's kind of like these kind of read a little bit as a plus, but also as a star. Zaza says she finished her EPP block. It is now 20 inches by 23 inches. Buffy says, I need to decide on binding fabric. The back is a light brown minky. Victoria Stewart says she was running behind in the Pat Sloan quilt along, but she likes going at her own pace, so it doesn't matter. That's really pretty. Enjoy the process. Don't rush through it. Oh, wow. Ellen says this is finished and now hung. That's gorgeous. I love it. Also, I love willow tree dolls too. Tanya says, I have missed a few lives babysitting the grandkids, so here's a couple I have finished in the last few weeks. The first is a Civil War sample from Barbara Brackman's book, and the second is my log cabin using Eleanor Burns' log cabin book. So pretty. Holly says, 9 down, 3 to go. This will be the top half of the quilt when finished. I got the third pink centered one done before supper, and then I will start on the next one during the live. It takes me about 3 hours from start to finish per 9 patch. They are made up of 8 FPP blocks, all the same, and then that solid center block. So this is a 9 patch block right here. She's got 8 crazy FPP blocks around it, and then a solid in the center separated by that hashtag for the background. It takes her 3 hours to do each one of those blocks. Wow. Making a Halloween 9-patch quilt to donate to the Children's Hospital. Diagonal stripes of 4 blocks by 4 blocks will be 36 inches square lap quilt. I just have to fussy cut the costumed kitties. I have a small quilt that I made and I did a video for that should be dropping, I think, next week. Basically, I took a Donna Jordan fabric pattern, a Jordan Fabrics pattern that was free, and I linked to it. And I wanted to work with a charm pack because that's what I had on hand. And so I modified their pattern to make it smaller, and it ended up being baby sized. And I did all the quilt math and walked you through how I did the quilt math in it to get there, so you can kind of see what my thought process is. But I've not really been sure what to do with the quilt because it's only like 36 or so inches, and I don't know anybody that has a baby, and I don't have a lot of friends that are having babies right now. But then I remembered my quilt guild is always collecting quilts for the NICU, and I just realized that would be a great quilt to donate for that. So thank you for the idea there. Lynn says, working on my mother's hand quilt, I'm starting to dream about hands. I could see why. Oh, wow. Becky B is the final raffle winner for the tonight. Congratulations, Becky. Brenda Holt says, I just finished this log cabin. Beautiful. Sherry Hendricks says, here is one of my trellis garden blocks. I love it. It looks great. Good job. That's so pretty. Susan Yarrow is basting some hexies. Julie is working on her Midnight in the Garden block of the month from Fig Tree Quilts. Carissa has 2 finishes that are posted, a Bargello on the right and a skull quilt on the left. Valeria finished this wall hanging quilt this week. I'll pull you in so you can see some of those quilting details, and she posted a picture of the back. Lori says top is almost done. 4 more squares. My daughter Eleanor is excited. I love that. Did she help you lay out the blocks in the way she wanted them to be? Yvette Hartso says, trying to figure out Pro Stitcher on the new Moxie XL. Beautiful fabric pull. And good luck. One day soon, Pro Stitcher will be in my future. All right, that's it. Well, friends, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I had a blast. Why does the camera look weird? I chose the wrong one. I did choose the wrong one. That was the wrong camera. It was the webcam. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I'm glad to say that I have one more month in the books for the deep dive block of the month. Several more to go. But I'm confident that over this weekend I could get month number 6 done, and maybe I can start month number 4, which will make me have a little bit less anxiety about having this on the shelf behind me. Thank you for hanging out with me. Don't forget, tomorrow I will be live at 6 p.m. with some jelly roll goodness with a couple of friends. So make sure to come on back tomorrow night and we'll hang out with you then. Thank you for hanging out tonight. Bye! California girls are unforgettable.